Today we're going to talk about graphing inequalities. And so the first thing we want to start out is what is an inequality? And I've put two inequalities below on problem 1 and problem 2. Let's see if we can kind of remember what these kind of things would look like. So in most cases you try to figure out what x could be. This one says the inequality, the open face always faces towards the bigger number. So in this case, x has to be a number that's bigger than 5, so we need a number that's bigger than 5. So our answers could be like 6, 7, 8, on and on and on. X can't be 5 because 5 isn't bigger than or equal to 5. X in this case could be like 5.5 because that would be bigger. So you can kind of see that there's a lot of numbers in here that work. Let's check the other one. This one is saying that 3 is bigger than x, so when you think about numbers that would work, well, numbers that would work would be 2, 1, 0, -1, and so on. In this case, I would get 3, because 3 would be equal to 3, so we do get the 3. Here's the problem with how I kind of have this written out here, though, for these two problems. And when you look at this and think about this, I can't list all the numbers. Like, I could spend forever and ever and ever, and I would never list out all the numbers. So we have to have a better way than what we did last time, where we just said x equals. So we can't really write it like this. So we're going to look at a better way of doing these two problems. So how we go about doing these problems is we make a number line to show the reader that all the numbers that we get, and we can kind of see that the number line goes out forever, so they can know if we go a certain direction we're going out forever. We always center our number line at the number that we care about. So that's the first really big key, and that's why in these problems that I'm centering around the number that I care about. Now, in this one, we know that we get all the numbers that are bigger than 5. So that means our arrow should be going bigger than 5 over here. Now, as we said before, 5 is not bigger than 5. Like, this statement is not true. So how we show that we get all the numbers that are bigger than 5, but we don't get 5, is we put an open circle at 5. We say, hey, we get all of these numbers that are bigger than 5, but we don't get 5, so we're going to make an open dot. On number 3, or on our second equation, we get all the numbers that are less than 3. So in this case, we would say, hey, I'm going to go towards numbers that are less than 3, which is like 2 and 1 and all those things. In this case, I do get 3, like 3 is greater than or equal to 3, so we do get that. And since we do get that, we're going to say a closed dot, like it goes to 3, and it stops there, and it goes this way. Let's do a couple more. Okay, so we're going to look at this one right here. Again, I want to center the number that I care about. Now this one says x is bigger than -4, so the numbers that would be bigger than -4 would be like -3, -2, -1. So it's going to go off this way towards my -3. Again, because it's not equal to, I don't get -4, so we're going to make an open dot. We'll go this other way, so we got 7, 8, and 6. 7. So the numbers that we would get, since x is bigger than 7 because it's facing that way, so we'd get 7, 8, 9, so numbers like that, so this way. And we do get 7 because it's equal to, so we'll make a closed dot, then we go off in that direction. So always when you're doing these problems, a lot of times to help myself out in the beginning, I write down the kinds of numbers that I get, so I'll know which way I'm kind of shading. And then I always think about what's like the greater thans or equal to, meaning like the open face facing towards the bigger side. Let's do one where we get a graph and we have to show what it would be. So if I got this graph and I had explained what it was, we know that we have x and 4. It's centered at 4. I know that I don't get 4, so it's not going to be equal to. And I know it's going towards 3. So I know that 4 is bigger than the x values I get. I'm not going to do an equal to sign underneath because it's an open dot. And it's shaded towards smaller numbers, so I know 4 is the biggest number. Okay. Try the different graphing problems today.